No one knows what the future will bring, not science fiction writers, not economists, not this thing. You've got to make your own future by serving the community that you most care about. I mean, other than your family. And a profound way of serving the community that matters to you is to write a book that serves the community that matters to you. And let's be honest, writing a book isn't entirely an altruistic project. It helps us too as authors. Psychologically, we feel better for serving others, but it also serves us commercially. It can completely change your business future. Here's Daniel Priestley, founder of Dent Global, a training company for entrepreneurs.
Write the book and give 1,000 copies away every year, and see and watch your life change. Like honestly, if you get a good-looking book out there with a good title and some good ideas in it, and you give 1,000 of those away every single year, watch your life change. Like just watch yourself go from strength to strength. You'll find yourself on stages and on planes and having fun and getting inbound opportunities that you've never experienced before pre-book.
But should you write a book? Because there are some hurdles, aren't there? There are things that might be holding you back. So how do you balance the downsides and the upsides, the advantages and the disadvantages of writing a book? How do you choose whether to write a book or not? Well, let's look at this rationally and logically. Let's do a force field analysis. What are the things holding you back from writing a book? And what are the things that are driving you forwards to write a book? Now, I've created with my wife Jacqueline a spreadsheet to help me make this analysis. My wife Jacqueline and I, we do this all the time for our own books and for books for the people that we work with. Should we, shouldn't we write this particular book? You can do this though on the back of an envelope, because the same restraining forces and the same driving forces crop up over and over again. Let's look at the first restraining forces top 5 style. At number 5, how much time have you got to write your book? Some people think, without analysing the process, that writing a book is as long as a piece of string. It's a never-ending project that can suck every living moment out of your life. It's not true. You just have to assess how long you want your book to be and then plan the time carefully. A 70 or 80,000 word book will take an hour a day for about 12 weeks. I'll put a link here to a video about exactly how long it takes to write your book. Number 4, how much effort are you prepared to put in? How much effort are you prepared to put into writing your book? I'm not gonna lie to you, writing a book is hard. Mentally, emotionally, it's physically demanding. To be honest, this is one of the things that makes your book worth doing, because so few people are prepared to work hard. Are you prepared to work hard? Here's what Professor Lynda Gratton has to say about writing a book.
I think writing a book is hard, and I think it's very nice to say that you're writing a book. I think that's a lovely thing to say, or I've got a book in my mind, but most people don't. And it's because it's hard to write a book, and it's hard to write a good book. So I don't criticize anyone for not doing it.
So many people want to write a book, but they don't. How much are you prepared to work hard to write a book? Number 3, have you got a good idea for a book? And how do you know? Will people want to read your book when you've written it? The key question for me is, how can you find out you've got a good idea before you write your book? And don't give it to your family and your friends. They'll only humor you. That will not help. Find a critical friend, someone not afraid to hurt your feelings. This is the only thing that'll help you answer the question, have you got a good enough idea? Number 2, have you got enough money to write this book? What? Money? Yes. If you're writing a book for a mainstream publisher, you need money to buy copies of your book to give away or to offer in your seminars and workshops. Mainstream publishers will give you a small advance, it's true, maybe $1,000, maybe £1,000 if you're lucky, and they will give you 10 or a dozen copies for free. But royalties won't come through for a year or more. So if you want to get copies, you have to set aside money to buy your own book. Now, if you're going to self-publish, on the other hand, you'll have to pay for the editing and the production, the cover, the printing. Now, it's not as much as you might think. A book with text only will cost you £2 or £3. Now, that's cheaper than a small colour brochure. And in comparison with mainstream publishers, you will make your costs back in sales very quickly. You'll make 90% of the cover price rather than just 10% with a traditional publisher. We sold 4,000 copies of The 7 Failings of Really Useless Leaders at £25 a copy, and almost all of that was direct revenue for us. You do the maths. Finally, top of the list of the restraining forces, number 1, can you actually see it through? Can you hold yourself accountable? Life does tend to get in the way inevitably. And unless you have a system to hold yourself accountable, many people are going to fall by the wayside. Far worse than not starting a book is to start a book and then not to finish. So those are the top 5 things that might be holding you back. How much time have you got? How much effort are you prepared to spend? How good is your idea? How much can you allocate to this project? How much cash? And how will you hold yourself accountable? Let's look at the driving forces. What's pushing you to write your book? Top 5 style. At number 5, are you a thought leader? And how much additional positioning and credibility do you really need? If you have knowledge to share, a message to share, then a book is a fantastic way to showcase your message. I always remember Professor Jerry Johnson when I was just starting my doctoral research. He said to me, if you're going to be a professor, what are you going to profess? Here's Professor Lynda Gratton on why she writes books.
Well, I'm a professor at the London Business School, so part of my role there is to be a thought leader. And for me, thought leadership is writing books.
If you have knowledge to share, writing a book provides a burst of credibility and authority. If you write a good book, that is. And number 4 is related in a way. How much do you need to showcase or demonstrate your expertise? Do it in a book. Share your system. Share your processes in a book. Because writing a good book is a fantastic way to pave the way for more detailed conversations later with your clients and customers. And it has to be said, it's a fantastic way to pre-sell your readers on the idea of doing more work in this area. Maybe with you. But maybe it's just important that they take some kind of action. This shouldn't be a heavyweight sales pitch. Your book should not be a heavy sales pitch. But you should recognize that a book can lead to indirect sales of your products or services. Which leads me to number 3. How much do you need to drive direct sales? Not necessarily of the book itself, though that can be a good bonus, but by putting links to your products and services in the book as recommended resources in the appendices. By linking to your products and services in your book, you can lead your audience. If your products and services are the right next step for them, your book can lead people to your door. It can also lead to invitations to speak on stage around the world, which you'll get paid for, of course, and which can also lead to more sales of your products and services. Number 2, do you need to market yourself, your products or your services? Well, your book and the research that goes into it can provide marketing content and a focused marketing plan for a year, maybe 2. You can share the interviews that you did to write the book, for example, either as audio podcasts or on a YouTube channel. You can share transcripts of those interviews, share early drafts of chapters as articles on LinkedIn or Medium, or on your own website, or as guest posts on somebody else's website. And finally, the number 1 driving force pushing you to write a book is your legacy. How much do you want to leave a legacy? For your family, maybe, for the business that you serve, for your profession, the industry, for the world. Books are a brilliant way to capture the lessons of your life, your experience for the next generation. So how much do you want to leave a legacy with your book? That's 5 driving forces pushing you to write a book. How much do you want to add to your thought leadership? How much do you need to demonstrate your processes or systems? How much do you need to boost sales, either directly or indirectly? How much is marketing necessary for you? And finally, do you want to leave a legacy? Now all you have to do is weigh up the 5 restraining forces and the 5 driving forces to decide, should you write a book? If you want to explore this issue further, should you write a book, we've written a new book for you. It's called, cunningly, You Should Write a Book. It's got in-depth interviews with people including Vern Harnish, the founder of the Entrepreneurs Organization, on how to use your book to attract new clients. There's an interview with Professor Lynda Gratton at London Business School on how to use your book to build thought leadership. Another interview with Steve Berry, a former CFO, on how to use your book to launch a new business. There's an interview with Daniel Priestley on how to use your book as the cornerstone of your marketing. There's an interview with Dr. Tommy Weir, a scientist in residence at MIT, on how to use your book to position your products and services. There's an interview with Marshall Goldsmith on how to use your book to demonstrate your expertise. There's another interview with Rob Moore, the disruptive entrepreneur, on how to use your book to extend your brand. There's an interview with Don Morehouse, the guy who created Morehouse Consulting and sold it to British Telecom, on how to use your book to pivot and serve a different market. There's also a case study in here on Alok Sinha, the former CEO of Capita Services in India, on exactly this topic. How do you pivot and serve a different market? There's an interview with Penny Power on how to use your book to serve your community. In my interview with Peter Larange, one of the best-known business school deans in the world, by the way, you'll learn how writing your book helps you to clarify your thinking, to clarify your thought leadership. There's an interview with Karen Dillon, former editor of Harvard Business Review, on how to engage and inspire your readers. There's an interview with Todd Satterstone, former president of 800 CO Read, on some of the latest ways to write and publish your book. And finally, there's an interview with Steve Piasanti, founder at Berrett Kohler Publishers, on how to publish a really great book. You can order the book now on Amazon, or you can download the ebook for free on our website. I'll put links in the description. If you like this video, click like. It tells YouTube we're doing something right. Subscribe if you want to get all our new videos, and hammer that bell, and I'll tell you when we've uploaded a new video. And I'll see you in the next video.
I've seen things you wouldn't believe. Time to write. Subscribe first, please.
It's very wet in here.